The moon trembled behind torn clouds, casting a red pall over the sleeping world as your spirit stirred with an unspoken dread. You felt it before it reached your ears, something unholy brushing the edge of your name, whispered not in prayer, but in preparation, not for your blessing, but for your fall. A friend who once laughed in your presence is now rehearsing syllables soaked in oil and fire, writing your name into the center of a circle, not meant to protect you, but to chain what you carry. Your sleep has been shallow, restless, not because of the day, but because the night has been watching you. There is something ancient moving just beyond the wall of your thoughts. Its fingers threading through the fabric of your fate, plucking at the strands like a harpist playing backwards. It's not paranoia, it's perception sharpening. Prophecy brushing your skin like frost just before it bites. You were never supposed to see this, but your spirit refused to remain blind. What was cloaked is now clothed in clarity. The laughter shared was a lullaby to your discernment, and the gifts they gave you were offerings to your downfall. God says, your name is being chanted, softly now, like a drumbeat in a storm no one else hears, but the winds are rising, and heaven is listening. The betrayal began not today, but long before, rooted in envy, dressed in smiles, carried silently. The one you held close grew thorns in their spirit, twisting slowly under your kindness, fed by the light in you. They could not replicate. They wanted what you carried, not what you shared. They wanted to wear your name like armor and walk into rooms your anointing opened. Tonight, they plan to use your name in a dangerous ritual. Your name, spoken in reverse, paired with candlelight and something stolen. Not your possessions, but your essence. Something they bottled in memory, something they touched when they hugged you too long. Something they took when they asked for your prayers and held your hand too tightly while imagining you gone. Archangel Michael says, the circle drawn will not hold. The stones they've placed will fracture. But you must be ready, because the ritual feeds on silence, and the silence must be broken. You were chosen, but not by them, by the one who sees in totality. And what you will become after this night will eclipse the shadow now stalking your steps. Even now, as they gather their tools, black thread, rusted pins, a photo that was never supposed to leave your drawer, your spirit begins to rise. You have not agreed to this, and the heavens have heard your soul's resistance. They light the candles now, in a basement layered with mirrors, turned to face the walls, each one meant to confuse and imprison the truth. They mutter words they do not understand, invoking names they cannot control, but your name is sacred. And tonight, it glows like a blade, burning their tongue with every false syllable. You feel it in your chest, a tightening, then a release. You aren't just sensing the ritual, you're being summoned through it. But the summoning is incomplete. Something ancient guards you, something divine with wings wrapped around your lineage. Your ancestors shift in the shadows, eyes lit like embers, speaking into your bones. God says, they thought your silence was consent. But I wrote a refusal into your soul the moment you were formed. They can touch your name, but they cannot hold your destiny. They can light a flame, but it will burn only their intentions. Outside, the wind howls and the trees lean as though listening. Inside, the ritual begins to strain. Their chants go crooked, their breath shortens. Something is wrong. What they summoned with your name is not what they expected. They wanted your power, but they've unlocked your protection. And now the air grows colder, heavy, thick with unseen wings. The flame flickers black for a moment, then blue, then gold. The mirror behind them cracks with no sound, and in its fracture, your face appears. Not bound, not broken, but burning with authority they never saw in you. Archangel Michael says, your name is fire in their throat now. Their ritual becomes your awakening. Let them chant. Let them call. Let them feel the weight of what they cannot steal. The clouds split above the house. The moon breaks free, white and wide-eyed, and the ground vibrates with judgment. Somewhere in the shadows, an owl screams, not in warning, but in witness. You are not falling into their trap. You are walking through the fire they drew for you. The ritual ends before it completes. Something unseen severs the circle. The candles die mid-flicker. The basement sinks into silence, but it is not peace, it is fear. The kind that clings to skin and burrows behind eyes. They feel it now. They've invoked something they cannot command. And you, sleeping yet awake, rising yet still, begin to shift. The edges of your spirit expand. The old skin begins to tremble, to crack. The fire they lit beneath you is now burning away what was never yours to carry. And you are stepping forward, unseen but seen, untouched yet deeply known. The moon's glow fades into a cold grey dawn. But the weight of the night remains. A shadow cast not by darkness, but by betrayal's sharp edge. You awaken to find your reflection fractured, not in the glass, but in the essence of your spirit. Something has been carved behind your back, invisible to all but your soul's eyes. The friend who once smiled with you now wears a mask made of thorns, their hands stained with symbols that burn not on skin, but on the heart's fragile mirror. They came close, closer than you allowed, weaving their envy into the fabric of your being while you dreamed of trust. This was no mere jealousy. It was a deliberate cutting, a spiritual incision made in the quiet hours when your guard was down. The markings are subtle, a sigh in your breath, a shadow in your laughter, but they echo in the chambers of your heart like a warning bell no one else hears. God says, this marking was meant to blind you, to twist your reflection into a lie you might believe. But your heart knows the truth, even when the mirror lies. You carry a light that pierces through falsehood, a truth no carved symbol can erase. The friend you thought you held was the one holding the knife, their envy sharp enough to scar the soul. The betrayal was patient, like poison settling in a well. They hid behind the kindness you gave, hiding daggers in smiles, whispers in shared secrets. You offered your trust as a shield, but it became a blade turned inward, slicing through your spirit. The mirror they sought to break was not just your image, but your very essence, the reflection of your divine purpose. Archangel Michael says, the wounds you feel are not your defeat, but your awakening. The marks on your mirror heart are calls to rise, to reclaim what was stolen beneath the guise of friendship. This is the hour when the false must fall away, and the true self shines fiercest against the cold. You remember moments now, fragments slipping into focus, words said too sweetly, hands lingering too long, glances that flickered with something dark beneath the light. You carried their shadow like a second skin, unaware that every embrace was a binding spell, every laugh a thread tightening the noose. The symbols carved in secret, ancient runes of envy, chains forged from whispered curses, were meant to tether you to their fall. But your spirit is a fortress built on pillars of resilience and fire. The mirror cracks, yes, but in every fracture there is light. You see yourself not as the wounded reflection they intended, but as the phoenix in ash, ready to rise. The friend who betrayed you has sown discord in their own soul. For envy is a hunger that devours the eater. God says their hands are stained, but your heart is sanctified. The marks left behind will fade, but the lessons they carved remain eternal. You were never alone in this reflection. I have been there, shaping the light behind every crack. The air around you thickens, pulsing with unseen energy. You sense the presence of watchers, spirits who have witnessed such betrayals since the dawn of time. Angels who guard the broken-hearted They lean close, their breath cool against your skin, whispering strength into your veins. You are not just surviving this marking, you are transmuting it, turning poison into medicine, scars into armor. Archangel Michael says, "Your shield is forged from truth and fire." Let the false friend bear their own chains. You carry a crown of light no envy can dim. The mirror they shattered will reflect a warrior, unyielding, unbroken, unbound. The morning sun rises, but its light feels different now, more like a coronation than a beginning. The world has shifted, and so have you. The friend who marked your heart with lies now trembles in the shadow of your coming power. Their ritual was the first strike, but you are the war they never prepared for. Behind you, the mirror still cracks, but you no longer fear its fractures. Each shard sings with the promise of renewal, the divine echo of a spirit reborn from the betrayal that once sought to destroy it. The markings fade, but the memory burns brighter, a blazing testament to your survival, your sovereignty. The friend you lost was never truly yours to keep. Your heart beats now with the rhythm of the unbreakable, the unyielding, the unapologetically free. Night descends again, thicker this time, as if the sky itself were drawn into a darker scheme. The air feels heavy, tainted with the scent of burned herbs and cold iron. The signature of a summons, not meant for your salvation, but your undoing. You can almost hear the breath of the shadows creeping, curling around your name like smoke seeping beneath a locked door. An invitation has been sent, not by letter or word, but through the silent language of the unseen. An unholy beckoning crafted by hands you once trusted. They gathered in the depths of a forgotten place, where light is swallowed and angels hesitate to tread. Your name is woven into the ritual's heart, bound with chains of intent and whispered curses that claw toward your spirit. The friend who betrayed you has become a conductor of darkness, orchestrating a symphony designed to bend your destiny to their will. But the shadows have teeth, and they gnash in anticipation, hungry for the power your soul contains. God says, "Beware the invitation cloaked in friendship, for it conceals a trap forged from ancient envy." Your name is called out in the tongue of sorrows, but you are not lost. You are called to rise beyond the veil of deception, beyond the whispers that seek to tether your spirit in darkness. The room where they gather pulses with energy, the walls alive with painted sigils, flickering candles casting grotesque shadows that twist like serpents. The air thrums with anticipation, as if the very stones remember the cries of those who fell before you. Your name is spoken softly at first, then louder, carried on a tide of desperation and desire. But the voices are ragged, trembling beneath the weight of forces they barely understand. Archangel Michael says, "This is the hour of reckoning." The invitation to shadows is also the summons to light. The battleground is set, and you stand at its center, neither victim nor bystander, but warrior cloaked in divine purpose. Your spirit flares as the ritual crescendos, each word spoken against you, a spark igniting the fire within. You feel the chains tightening, but they burn away before they bind. The friend who summoned this darkness falters, their eyes wide with the realization that they have unleashed a power beyond their grasp. The shadows stir, but you are the dawn breaking their hold. The candles flicker erratically, casting strange patterns that dance across the walls. Visions of your past, your strength, your future unbound. You see the faces of ancestors, their eyes burning with fierce pride. Their voices silent but thunderous in your heart. They have walked this path before, breaking free from webs of betrayal and rising through flames of destruction. God says, "Your name is sacred, your spirit untouchable." The shadows cannot claim what is touched by the divine. They reach for your soul, but their grasp falls on empty air. For you have already ascended beyond their reach. The friend who conjured this darkness crumbles, swallowed by the very shadows they sought to command. Their ritual collapses in a shatter of broken promises and fractured dreams. The room grows still, heavy with the weight of what has been broken and what is being born. Archangel Michael says, "Stand firm. The invitation has been sent, but your acceptance is not required. The shadows may call, but your light is louder. Walk through this night with courage, for dawn awaits the unbroken." You step away from the ruined circle, your breath steady, your heart a beacon in the dark. The invitation to shadows is a test, a crucible meant to forge you anew. And you emerge not as prey, but as predator, unyielding, unshaken, unafraid. Outside, the wind carries the scent of rain and renewal. The moon, once trembling, now burns steady and true. You are not alone in this night. The heavens stand beside you, a shield of fire and wings. The friend who betrayed you fades into the distance, their name lost in the echoes of the ritual they could not control. Your name, however, rises on the breath of angels, pure, unbroken, eternal. The air crackles with tension as dawn edges toward the horizon, casting cold light over the shattered remnants of trust. The bonds once forged in friendship now wreathe like serpents, choking the life from what was pure and sacred between you. A divine sword gleams unseen but unmistakable, poised to sever the false ties that have bound you in shadow and deceit, slicing through the web of lies spun so carefully in the dark. The friend who wore a mask of loyalty is exposed, their true face revealed beneath the weight of their own treachery. They believed their ritual would bind you, chain your spirit, and silence the truth you carry. Instead, their efforts have only loosened the grip of their deception, freeing you to stand tall amidst the wreckage. The fractures in your soul now become openings, wounds turned gateways for divine justice to pour through. God says, the false must fall so the true can rise. What was hidden in shadow is called into light. The ties that fettered your destiny were never yours to carry. They were the chains of the unworthy, now breaking beneath the pressure of righteousness. Archangel Michael says, "This is the moment of reckoning. The battlefield is set not with swords and shields, but with truth and conviction. False alliances crumble under the weight of their own deceit. And you are the warrior wielding the sword of clarity. The heavens tremble as the severing begins. Ribbons of dark energy unravel and disintegrate into nothingness. The air humming with the power of release. Your spirit surges forward, burning with the fire of liberation, each step shaking the ground beneath you. The friend who sought to imprison your soul shrinks away, their power dissolving like smoke before the sun. You feel the chains fall from your wrists, the shackles breaking with a sound that reverberates through the cosmos. The scars left behind pulse with new life, the wounds healing not with forgetfulness, but with fierce remembrance. This is your victory, a rebirth forged in fire, a reclamation of your sovereignty. God says, rise now, untethered and unbound. The false has been severed, the true remains. Your spirit is a fortress no betrayal can breach, a flame no darkness can extinguish. Archangel Michael says, walk forward with the strength of the divine behind you. The path ahead is lit by your courage, your faith, your unyielding will. Let the false fall to dust. You are the dawn breaking through their night. The friend who betrayed you is left to wander a hollow place, trapped by the very shadows they summoned. Their ritual, their hatred, their envy, none of it can touch the light you carry within. The severing is complete, and you stand victorious on the other side, your heart blazing with renewed purpose. The world shifts beneath your feet, the air alive with possibility and power. The chains of falsehood lie broken at your back, and before you stretches a horizon painted with the colors of hope and divine promise. Your name is no longer a target but a banner, a call to those who dare to walk the path of truth. The sky opens and golden light floods your spirit, a baptism in the fire of justice, a coronation in the courts of heaven. The friend who sought your ruin fades into shadow, and you become the light that banishes the night.